jetzt hoffentlich einen ähnlich guten Applaus, wenn nicht besser, für den echten Manu Bennett.
Der Mann ist der Hammer. Ja, ich bin jetzt mal bloß gespannt, ob ich das 20 Minuten lang geben kann.
Einigkeit und Recht und Freiheit.
Great, you managed to get here. You were held up in the water.
Oh yeah, I had a really funny situation happen. I flew in at 5. I arrived to Munich.
Oh.
And a few weeks ago I lost my driver's license.
Oh.
My wallet, and I lost the license. So back in my country they sent me a small paper license. Not a real one, just a funny piece of paper. And when I arrived in Munich to pick up my rental car, they said, no. What is this piece of paper? I said, it's a document from my government, from my country, to say it's my license. And they said, no. Yeah.
Das kommt definitiv auch dann.
So instead of getting a nice Mercedes to drive through the countryside, I jumped on the train.
Train is so
sorry, that's very German.
Thank you for traveling with Deutsche Bahn.
But I went for one night. Who's from Heidelberg? Heidelberg. Oh, I love your city. Beautiful city, Heidelberg. I had one night there. Incredible.
One of the prettiest places in Germany, actually. I guess everyone understands English pretty well. Everyone's laughing. Anyone actually need a German translation? No! Okay. You need a German translation. Okay. That's going to cut down our time.
Oh, meine Hand wird schwer.
Nein, thank you.
It's okay.
Okay. I think we should open up to questions from the audience right away because we're running a bit late. So, anyone? Okay, there's one back there.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, hi. Yes, handshake here.
My question, so you played in the Hobbit, Arthur, and there you had Timon Camp. How was that experience? Was that the first, or like how was it?
Yeah, to play Arthur, I had to do motion capture. So when you see Azor as this giant, this. Well, when I went to the motion capture studio, they gave me a leotard. You know, leotard? How do you say leotard?
Yeah, very skin tight.
Body stocking.
Yes.
How do you say in German? Body stocking.
Catsuit, actually.
So when I walked out into the studio, I had this catsuit on me, and I felt like a girl. Because it was very tight.
You can wear it. You can definitely wear it.
But this was very different to the way that I had to be physically. You know, to create Azog, you had to create size and power. The night before I went into the studio with Peter Jackson to start filming Azog, I took out two films I watched the night before. I watched The Empire Strikes Back. I wanted my character, Azog, to have a big voice. So I borrowed from the concept of Darth Vader, the big voice, you know, to use the breath. I am your father, Luke. This is my voice. I had a very, when I was offered Azog, they offered it to me on Monday, and I was shooting with Peter Jackson on Thursday. So I had a very short time to create a character. But I took out Empire Strikes Back and Jaws. You know Jaws? The shark.
Der weiße Hai für alle, die sich halt
Because if you notice with Azog, I always use him like this. You know, and I hide him.
Wenn ich gleich eine Frage stelle, weil ich will fragen, ob kannst du es nicht dann weiterfilmen? Obwohl ich weiß jetzt nicht, wie lange da noch Platz ist. Weil da über 20.000 noch reichen wahrscheinlich. Daher nicht.
In the opening scene for Azog, Azog is like this. And the orc, the small orc, comes in and says, Master, they escaped. We were lucky to escape with our lives. The small orc. And I kept my back because I wanted to be like Jaws. I just wanted you to see the fin. And so I just turned my head and I went, ooh-ah-dee-doo-nah. And then when I turned around, I said to Peter Jackson, I said, can I have my wag, my wolf here, so that I don't look up? I don't want the audience to see Azog's energy. And I went down and there was nothing there. In this motion capture studio, there was nothing there. Peter said, there will be a dog there, there will be a wolf there. So I just patted the air. And then I walked down to this small walk. Come on, darling, can you be a small walk? Yeah, and I walked to this small walk. And I put my hand through. I said to Peter, can I run my hand over its head like it's a child, like I'm doing a nursery rhyme? Because the audience are just sitting there going, And suddenly I grabbed his orc and I threw it into my arms and I ripped it to pieces. And it was technically was being able to make him subtle, just make him think. Because I think what Peter Jackson wanted from Azog through motion capture. Remember in Lord of the Rings? My friend Lawrence McCord was incredible actor to play the top orc in Lord of the Rings. But they did it with masks, you know, masks, like makeup. And the masks, when you come in close to the camera, you come in very close, you can still see that the details aren't as perfect. So when you saw it all in Lord of the Rings, it was like, they'd come like a frame. Come and they'd go,
Aber lass dann mal nochmal. Das hängt auf. Yeah.
And so there was very little subtle in expressions that you could use. So the wonderful thing about Arzog is that he could just have all of these very minute details and build from there. You know, and I found that a very interesting part of developing that character. Yeah, but it was fun.
Your Orcish is pretty good, or are you just improvising?
I only know 2 lines. I only remember 2 lines.
Okay, we've got another question over here. So,
Can we see you again on Arrow?
Who wants to see me again on Arrow? You know, it's a long game, I think. You know, Arrow is season 4. Yeah, so who knows? You know, I think because it's the origin story, you know, the Slade and Oliver story is such a good story for them to bring up that they will wait for the right time. You know, there's so much demand. People want it to happen, but it'll happen when you least expect it. But I'm sure it's going to be powerful. I'm looking forward to it. I don't know when, but I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be interesting when I revisit that relationship. I just have to get off that island. I'm off. Bill doesn't come up in Dortmund. Hey, Oliver. I'm in Dortmund.
Was ist Hochdeutsch?
okay, any more questions? Okay. I can repeat your question. Ich kann deine Frage auch wiederholen, etwas lauter. Did anyone get that? Did everyone get that? Just ask about whether
He asked yes, so.
Yeah, look, I've always been involved in a lot of different kind of sports. I played for the Australian. I was selected to try for the Australian rugby union team, so I played contact sport. I did some martial arts when I was younger. I did boxing. I did a few different things. I did ballet.
Das kommt sowas von auf Tumblr.
My girlfriend when I was young, I'll tell you a story. You know, my acting career was a result of looking at the arts in a way to heal myself. When I was 15, some people always ask me if my scars, you know, I have these scars, and so, you know, Spartacus, and where is it? See that one there? And this one here? Okay. So when I was 15, I was in a car with my mother and my father, and a drunk driver came through an intersection and hit our car. And spun into the air, and I was thrown out the side window, which is that scar. That was the glass. And then I hit the road, and I was thrown from about here to where the cameraman is over there, through this window, and the policeman later told me that I should have broken every bone in my body, but somehow I didn't. And so, this is what happened. Unfortunately, my mother was killed, and as a young man, I had to try to figure out how to deal with my loss and the sorrow that was taught me at a young age, too young, you know. I've met a lot of people, and I like to share everybody's story, because we all have pain, and we all have things we need to deal with. And the wonderful thing about story, you know, when we all invest ourselves in great movies or great music or whatnot, is that we feel the emotional content. And so as an actor, I'm always compelled to make my characters as real as possible, because I know that it's only valuable if what comes through that little square to you is something that you understand. So from the day that this accident happened, I lost my mother, I was always trying to find a way to channel this negative feeling in a positive way. And at the time, my girlfriend was a ballet dancer, and she said, come and dance ballet. And you know, it was amazing. I tell you guys, like, you know, you might think like, you can't see Slade Wilson, like, or Azo, met een Azo in Twitter. Good news. Good news. Just not going to work. But the thing is it was that was my first expression, was ballet dancing. And, you know, dancing with women, doing part of their work, was very good for me physically. And it was also a great way for me to respond to this loss of female energy in my life, my mother. So doing the ballet was great. I then went from ballet into an acting course. I was too scared to do the auditions for the big acting schools, so I went and auditioned for a dance and drama course. And I got into my dancing, and then I started to develop my acting. And my acting career started in Australia. I did a television show when I was 24 called Paradise Beach. And I wore a Speedo. You know a Speedo? Like David Hasselhoff? So this was my first job. But it was a very good learning experience. I did 2 years working in a studio on television soap, so you had a lot of time in front of the camera. And then after I finished that job, I was invited to play on Xena. You know Xena? So I got to play Mark Antony. And Xena was playing Cleopatra in the episode. She was pretending to be Cleopatra. And so Lucy Lawless and I worked together in 1999. Now, it's funny the relationships that you need to build in this industry and how long it can take, but it may turn around and the relationship will get you more work. So Lucy Lawless's husband, Rob Tappert, who used me on Xena, 10 years later, he employed me on Spartacus. You know, 10 years later. And who are Spartacus fans? Well, yeah, you know, I mean, that character was so perfect for some of the things that I'd been through in my life. And so I got to use a lot of my real emotion and feeling and energy in the role of a princess. I've never been more proud of a character that I got to play, and I got to be honest as an actor with Princess. Princess was phenomenal. Every time I got the page, I was like, what a blessing. What an amazing opportunity as an actor. And, you know, at first, the accident that I was in, that I was telling you about, I was in a coma. You know, a coma, I was unconscious for 2 weeks. And when I woke up in my hospital bed for the first time, the person standing next to my bed was my worst enemy from school. A guy that I hated. He called me stuff, like I can't repeat it, but you know, we used to hate each other at school. We'd be like, yeah, come on, you know, and we would at each other. He had like a mullet haircut. He looked like that guy. Stand up. You know, he looked tough, like this guy. He looked really tough, you know. And I had gel in my hair, you know, like I had a fashionable haircut. I look like this guy. So these two guys, very different hairstyles, very different companies. I was trendy like him, and my friend was tough like this guy. Thank you. And, but, you know, we were the worst enemies. And when I woke up from this horrible car accident that I was in, and my mother was dead, this guy was next to my bed. And he came up and he was like, brother, you're okay. You're okay. And I'm looking, one eye was closed. I was like, you know, I had this big swell on my face. I was looking at this guy through one eye going, you know, just like this. It's like this. And I was looking at him through one eye going, what are you doing here? But it was a big change in my life. It was a really, at that moment, because I realized that your worst enemy can be your best friend. If something happens that shifts it, something that you both identify with. What I found out, and I had no idea, was the reason why he was so angry and tough as a young boy was he lost his mother when he was young. And the moment that he heard that I was in hospital and my mother had been killed, he came to the hospital to say, I know who you are now. And so we became best friends, and I was best man at his wedding. And I based Crixus and Spartacus, my performance of Crixus against Andy Whitfield was based upon my relationship with this guy. So when I was in those bathhouse scenes with Andy Whitfield going like, your wife has been fucked by 1,000 Romans. I was playing like this guy at the bus stop at school. Maybe it wasn't so dramatic. But we had these kind of moments. And knowing that with the story of the Spartacus storyline, we both end up as brothers, joined together for university. So that's sort of like the way that I play Crixus, and I was really proud of that role.
Thank you very much. We're going to change over.
Yes.
Come on, Benett.